Nick secretly pockets pills while insisting Matt is bluffing, but danger escalates as Matt lures Sharon and Noah into a risky trap. Meanwhile, Billy fully supports Sally after learning she's pregnant, stepping up despite past heartbreak. Across town, Lily is devastated when test results reveal her twins aren't a match to help Malcolm, leaving his condition more critical than ever. Welcome to A Mysterious Time TV, where the drama unfolds and the stories captivate. Join us as we explore the fascinating world of Young and the Restless, uncovering untold stories and hidden truths behind the headlines. Y&RRecap: Nick hides pills as Matt sets a dangerous trap for Sharon and Noah. Friday's episode of The Young and the Restless, April 17, 2026, delivered intense drama, shocking revelations, and a growing sense of danger as multiple storylines collided. While Nick Newman struggled to convince Adam that he wasn't battling addiction, he secretly concealed a stash of pills. At the same time, back in Genoa City, Diane stunned Jack with an unexpected admission, and Matt Clark quietly set a trap that could pull Sharon and Noah straight into harm's way. Romance and risk at Summer's conglomerate. At her office, Lauren was greeted by a lavish bouquet of roses, complete with a heartfelt note from Michael. As she read the message, Michael appeared behind her, earning praise for his romantic flair. He expressed admiration for her new leadership role and presented her with a unique gift, a watch without hands, symbolizing their timeless love and his unwavering support. Their affectionate exchange quickly turned playful and passionate. Though Michael initially insisted he needed to return to work, Lauren persuaded him to stay a bit longer. She suggested a toast to Phyllis for giving her this career opportunity. Michael admired Phyllis's boldness, and Lauren reluctantly agreed, calling it a toast to daring choices, and even to love itself, which she joked might be the most reckless risk of all. What started as a simple toast soon turned into dancing, kisses, and a romantic moment neither of them wanted to cut short. Jack and Nikki considered desperate measures. Meanwhile, at the GCAC lounge, Jack and Nikki met to discuss the crumbling state of their marriages. Both were feeling discouraged, unsure if reconciliation was still possible. Jack acknowledged Diane's pain but emphasized that he was hurting as well. Nikki revealed she had attempted to visit Diane, only to have the door slammed in her face. Determined not to give up, they brainstormed ways to repair their relationships. Jack suggested a publicity angle, asking Sally to write a feature about the enduring love story behind Jabot, but Nikki quickly dismissed the idea as too transparent. Nikki then proposed an outrageous plan of her own, staging a fake kidnapping of her grandchildren to force Victor to admit he was wrong. Jack jokingly graded her idea poorly. Eventually, Jack brought up a tactic he'd read about, making a partner jealous to reignite feelings. As they searched for believable romantic interests, they shared a moment of realization, each other. The idea of pretending to grow closer seemed plausible, though risky. Nikki worried it would enrage Victor, while Jack feared it would push Diane further away. They ultimately agreed to keep it as a last resort option. Their conversation was interrupted by Victor's arrival, followed shortly by Diane. Tension escalated instantly. Diane shocked Jack by admitting that Victor had been right about him all along. Victor urged Jack to accept defeat and move on, but Jack refused, vowing revenge. Victor fired back, claiming Jack was only capable of destroying his own marriage before walking away. Diane then told Jack she felt just as betrayed as he did and left him behind. Nikki stayed to comfort Jack, who admitted he was nearing desperation. Chelsea faces Matt's mind games. In Las Vegas, Chelsea called Sharon with troubling news: Nick was missing. She explained that Adam had gone to investigate after Matt had taken him to see Nick earlier. Sharon was alarmed, especially since Chelsea wasn't allowed to go along. Soon after ending the call, Chelsea heard a knock at the door. Looking through the peephole, she saw Matt standing alone. When she let him in, she immediately demanded answers about Adam's whereabouts. Matt taunted her, brushing off her concerns and mocking her emotional reactions. Chelsea accused him of manipulating and breaking people, pointing out that everything began with his threats. As her frustration grew, Chelsea pleaded with him, reminding him that they all had children and asking him to at least confirm that Nick and Adam were alive. Matt chillingly responded that Nick had looked nearly dead when Adam saw him. Refusing to reveal more, he warned Chelsea not to search for them and left, leaving her shaken and desperate. Adam finds Nick in critical condition. Elsewhere, Adam regained consciousness in a dim, cluttered storeroom, his head throbbing. He quickly realized Nick was nearby, alive but barely responsive. Fortunately, Matt had neglected to restrain Adam, allowing him to free Nick. Adam recounted how Matt had claimed Nick was battling a severe addiction, and based on Nick's condition, it seemed plausible. Nick insisted it was all part of Matt's manipulation, though he admitted Matt had forced him to take something strong. Adam remained skeptical but focused on getting them out. Without their cell phones, Adam used a wall-mounted phone to contact Chelsea, informing her of their location in the same building. She explained Matt had already returned to her room but had since disappeared. Adam warned that the situation wasn't over and gave her directions to reach them. As Chelsea worked to unlock the door from the outside, Nick, still weak, noticed a box filled with drugs nearby. Taking advantage of the distraction, he quietly slipped some pills into his pocket, hiding them from Adam. Sharon and Noah decide to act. Back at Crimson Lights, Noah noticed Sharon's distress after her call with Chelsea. Though she initially tried to downplay it, Noah pressed for the truth. Sharon revealed Nick was missing and possibly in danger. Fueled by guilt and concern, Noah insisted on heading to Las Vegas immediately. He blamed himself for Matt's renewed fixation on their family and refused to sit back any longer. Despite earlier disagreements, he was now determined to act. A temporary escape and a dangerous setup. Chelsea eventually managed to free Adam and Nick, and the three returned to Adam's hotel room. Nick was still visibly unwell, and Chelsea worried about what Matt might have given him. Adam admitted he wanted to believe Nick had only taken drugs under duress. At one point, Nick stepped into another room alone, staring intently at the pills he had taken. When he returned, he appeared slightly more composed, though something felt off. The group realized Matt had taken all their phones except Chelsea's. Chelsea attempted to call Sharon to reassure her, but Nick stopped her, fearing that contacting them too soon would prompt Sharon and Noah to rush to Vegas. His concern proved valid. Elsewhere, Matt used Nick's stolen phone to send Sharon a deceptive message, pretending to be Nick. In the text, he claimed he had captured Matt and urged her to come to Las Vegas to witness his downfall. Believing the message to be genuine, Sharon and Noah prepared to leave, completely unaware they were walking straight into Matt's trap. Coming up next. The drama continues next week as new connections form and secrets unfold. Stephanie crosses paths with Nate, Christine delivers unexpected news to Danny, and Michael warns Lauren that trouble may be looming for her company. Meanwhile, Sharon and Noah head to Las Vegas, unknowingly playing right into Matt's dangerous scheme. The stakes have never been higher, and the consequences of these choices are about to ripple through everyone involved. Next update. Y&RRecap Monday, April 20th. Billy embraces Sally's baby news as Lily faces a crushing blow about Malcolm. The Monday, April 20th, 2026 episode of The Young and the Restless delivered an emotional mix of hope, heartbreak, and complicated family revelations. While one couple began to imagine a future together, another storyline took a devastating turn as long-awaited medical results shattered expectations. Across Genoa City, characters wrestled with truth, identity, and the weight of life-altering decisions. Lily shares a life-changing secret, then receives devastating news. At Society, Lily Winters found herself at the center of two deeply emotional developments. Earlier, she had gathered Devin and Nate to reveal a truth that could reshape their understanding of family. Holden is Malcolm Winters' son. The revelation alone was enough to leave both men stunned, but it was only the beginning of the emotional turmoil Lily would face that day. Before that conversation, Lily had spent time speaking privately with Holden. When she arrived, she found him already waiting and eager to talk. Their discussion turned toward Malcolm and the uncertainty surrounding his health. At that moment, Lily still hadn't received the results of the critical bone marrow compatibility tests involving her twins, leaving Malcolm's fate hanging in the balance. Holden expressed how surreal it felt that Lily had grown up knowing Malcolm as her father, while he himself had no relationship with him at all. Curious and searching for connection, he asked Lily to tell him more about Malcolm. Lily carefully explained that while Malcolm is her biological father, the man she considers her true dad is Neil Winters, Malcolm's brother, who raised her. Rather than dive into the full complexity of that history, she simply described Malcolm as a good man. She also noted that Malcolm has always lived a restless life, frequently traveling and often losing touch with those around him. Holden acknowledged that Malcolm's current medical situation would likely put an end to that lifestyle, at least temporarily. Despite the grim outlook, Lily admired Malcolm's optimism. Even without a confirmed donor, he continued to believe things would work out. She credited this resilience to the hardships he had overcome in the past. Holden then wondered whether Lily might convince Malcolm to undergo treatment in Genoa City, or even settle there once he recovered. However, Lily was doubtful. She described Malcolm as a free spirit who is comfortable in New York and capable of maintaining emotional connections from a distance. The conversation shifted to Holden's own feelings. When Lily asked if he wanted to build a relationship with Malcolm, he admitted he wasn't sure. The situation felt complicated and perhaps too late to fully reclaim what had been lost. While he didn't blame Malcolm, he struggled with the fact that he only learned about his father when it became medically necessary, a situation shaped largely by his mother Stephanie's past decisions. Lily reassured him that his feelings were valid. Holden confessed that growing up believing his father was dead had been isolating. He remembered feeling envious of other children who had relationships with their dads and even admitted to lying about having a living father just to fit in. Lily empathized, recognizing how lonely that must have been. She suggested that Malcolm, having faced his own struggles, might be someone Holden could eventually talk to about those experiences. Still, Holden remained realistic. He pointed out that no matter what happened next, they could never recover the lost years. That opportunity had been taken from them, and nothing could truly replace it. Even so, Lily felt it was important for Devin and Nate to know the truth. She believed that despite not sharing direct blood ties, they would still consider Holden part of the extended family. Though hesitant, Holden agreed to let her make the call. A family revelation leads to heartbreak. Soon after, Nate and Devin arrived at Society, expecting a typical family discussion. Instead, Lily immediately dropped the bombshell: Holden is Malcolm's son. The news left both men visibly surprised. They questioned where the information had come from, and Holden confirmed that his mother had revealed the truth. Lily emphasized that if Holden is Malcolm's son, then he is family to all of them. Devin and Nate exchanged uncertain glances, clearly processing the implications. While Lily acknowledged they likely had many questions, she insisted they already knew most of what she did, for now. Sensing the tension, Holden excused himself to give them space. Devin then turned to Lily, trying to understand her perspective. He pointed out that technically, other complicated figures like Tucker also fall under the family label, suggesting that the term can be complicated. Before Lily could fully respond, her phone rang. It was the call she had been anxiously awaiting, the results of the twins' bone marrow tests. The outcome was devastating. Neither of her children was a match for Malcolm. As she returned to Devin and Nate, her composure crumbled. The weight of the news was too much to bear, and she broke down in tears. Devin and Nate rushed to comfort her, still unaware of the exact details but recognizing the depth of her pain. Nate meets Stephanie, a connection to the past emerges. Earlier at the Genoa City Athletic Club, Nate Hastings had an unexpected encounter that tied directly into the unfolding family drama. He overheard a woman introduce herself as Stephanie Simmons and approached her. She immediately recognized him as Olivia's son and Lily's cousin, greeting him warmly. The two shared an affectionate hug, quickly establishing a sense of familiarity. Stephanie complimented Nate, mentioning that she had read his professional work. Their conversation turned to his decision to leave medicine, which she acknowledged was a significant life change. Nate was surprised to learn that his mother had shared details of his journey with her. Stephanie explained that she and Olivia often spoke about their sons with pride. The two shared a light moment, toasting to that connection. As they continued talking, they decided to have dinner together. Stephanie encouraged Nate to drop the formalities and not call her doctor, which he agreed to. When Nate asked what brought her back to Genoa City, she revealed she was there to visit her son, Holden. The mention of Holden caught Nate off guard, though he masked his reaction and simply said he didn't know Holden well. Their conversation then shifted back to Nate's career. He reflected on his time as a doctor, admitting that while he loved helping people, he never developed the emotional detachment needed to cope with losing patients. Now, he finds fulfillment working with his family and contributing in a different way, though he still deeply respects the medical field. Stephanie agreed, noting that saving a life is incredibly rewarding, but losing a patient is one of the hardest experiences imaginable. Their evening was cut short when Nate received Lily's urgent call asking him to meet her at Society. Stephanie offered to cover the bill, but Nate assured her it was already handled before leaving. Holden confronts his place in the family. After leaving Society, Holden sought out his mother at the athletic club. He wanted to know if Nate had said anything negative about him or if he was simply imagining things. Stephanie gently suggested he might be jumping to conclusions, but Holden admitted that his past in Genoa City might make it difficult for others to accept him as family. Stephanie offered to help smooth things over, but Holden declined. He made it clear that he needed to handle the situation on his own. He expressed doubt about ever truly fitting in with Lily, Devin, and Nate. In fact, he suggested that maybe it was better that way. Stephanie encouraged patience, reminding him that acceptance often takes time, for both him and the others. Sally and Billy face a life-altering decision. Meanwhile, at their apartment, Sally Spectra sat by the window, clearly overwhelmed. Billy Abbott arrived with food, trying to take care of her as she processed a major development. Sally revealed that she had taken another pregnancy test, and it was positive. With confirmation in hand, the reality of the situation set in. They needed to decide what came next. Billy immediately checked on her well-being, relieved to hear her nausea had eased. Sally thanked him for being supportive but wanted to know how he truly felt, since the situation affected both of them. She admitted that she had suspected the possibility of pregnancy for a few days but hadn't said anything yet. Her thoughts were racing, and she felt unsure about how to move forward. Billy reassured her that there was no pressure to have all the answers right away. He brought her tea and tried to lighten the mood, even jokingly vowing to avoid sushi until she could enjoy it again too. Still, Sally wanted honesty between them. Billy admitted he had been a little hurt that she initially confided in Audra instead of him. Sally explained that she had been trying to protect him. Billy said he understood and wasn't offended, but it did make him realize that she had been afraid to tell him, something that spoke to deeper concerns in their relationship. He expressed a desire to be someone she could fully rely on. Sally reassured him that he already was, describing him as caring and attentive, especially with the children in his life. Billy then made his feelings clear. He loves her and wants to be there for her no matter what. He promised she wouldn't have to face anything alone, unless she chose to. Sally finally opened up about her fears. She admitted that part of the reason she hesitated to tell him was because of their painful pasts. Billy had lost his daughter Delia, and she had suffered a miscarriage with Ava. The thought of going through that kind of loss again terrified her. Billy acknowledged the risk. Even when everything is done right, there are no guarantees. He asked if she was willing to take that chance again. Sally reflected on how deeply her previous loss had affected her. She had felt broken, as if everyone could see her pain. Losing Ava didn't just take her child, it made her lose a part of herself. She even questioned whether she would have been a good mother and carried guilt for surviving. The fear of repeating that experience weighed heavily on her. She worried about living in constant anxiety, or worse, facing another tragedy. Despite those fears, she also recognized that she wouldn't be facing it alone. Billy would be by her side. In the end, they chose to move forward together. United as a team, they embraced the uncertainty and sealed their decision with a kiss. A day of contrasts in Genoa City. Monday's episode painted a vivid contrast between hope and heartbreak. While Sally and Billy began to cautiously embrace the possibility of a new life, Lily faced devastating news that could change her father's fate. At the same time, the revelation of Holden's identity introduced new tensions and possibilities within the Winters family, leaving everyone to grapple with what family truly means. As these stories continue to unfold, one thing is clear: the emotional stakes in Genoa City have never been higher. For more of the latest updates and behind-the-scenes secrets from Young and the Restless, make sure to hit subscribe and ring that bell. Stay in the know with every new release.